This week on the Digital Coffee, LinkedIn wants us to use more Gifs. Yeah, I know. Twitter shares some copywriting tips for your tweets, and Facebook launches Creator Studio app for mobile. All that and more after this. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to the Digital Coffee. This is your weekly dose of digital marketing and social media news for small business. My name is Amanda Webb, and I am in, well, you can tell I'm not in my office, right? I am in LA. In case you missed it, around the end of last year, maybe November last year, they launched Creator Studio, which is a tool that all business page owners have. You'll find it under Publishing Tools if you haven't activated it yet. And from here, you can schedule and draft content for both Facebook and Instagram. And it really was, to me, it was a lifesaver when it came out. Now you don't need to use a third-party tool for Instagram. It's very video focused, and so is the new app. So when I logged into the new app, this is Creator Studio, I thought it was going to be kind of a mini version of what you do on the web, but no, it's not. It's not. First thing, let's get the first screen up so I can show you what it does. This is the home screen. Tells you a little bit about your Facebook page performance. You can see there's a really strong focus on video here. Are they trying to tell us something? But what's missing? No Instagram. You can't access your Instagram stats here. Oh well, I think I should just go and use it as a Creator Studio. It says it's Creator Studio. Let's go and create some posts. So I go into the post pane and no, it's called Creator. I cannot create posts within the mobile app. What I can do is I can access any posts I've scheduled that I've actually published or any drafts. And drafts is something I use quite a lot on Facebook. I bang in a whole load of content so that when I do need to schedule something, it's all sitting there. So it's gonna be a good app for that, for kind of like going in and publishing content when you need to. But the idea of Creator makes you think you're gonna create. According to Mari Smith, I'm going to link to her post about this in the comments below. According to Mari Smith, they are going to let us create at some phase. Just baffles me that they would have launched this before you could. The third screen that you go into then is your insights, your stats, and again, very heavily video focused. So what this tells me more than anything, more than even needing to know the app, is that Facebook is still very focused on video content, that we still need to be thinking about creating video content specifically for Facebook, because this seems to be the statistic they care about the most. If we want to get that extra reach, video content is the way. But I do think as well you need to have that connection, so it can't just be your kind of standard things that you put up quite quickly. You need to look at creating more engaging video content, which of course is great for people like me. I can work with you through your video content, but it means it's a struggle for a lot of businesses. In good news, if you want to create more video content for your Facebook page, I'm going to be running a challenge in my Facebook group, Spiderworking's Digital Marketing Superheroes, in April. So go over and join now and I'll keep you up to date with the details of that video challenge. Snapchat have always been the king or the queen or the rulers of AR, that's augmented reality. They were the first to come up with the face filters where it can recognize your face and put things on them. They were the first to come up with that. Then they turned it around that you could actually put objects in the scenes that you were looking at. They made it so that you could go to specific locations, and when you went to film them, artworks would appear. They've done some really creative and amazing stuff with AR. I really think this is their strength. You could already map the sky and you could change the sky into something else. But this week they're launching a tool which typically I don't have yet because I'd love to play with this, where you can map the floor. So you would take your video, or you would set up your video, and it will automatically identify the floor, and you can change the floor by filter. Let me get the screen up for you because it is kind of cool. You can fill that floor with things like lava. Now this is fun. There is no real strong business use for this apart from as part of storytelling. Maybe you could use this, but what I love is that Snapchat are continuously innovating in this AR space, and as AR becomes more prevalent, I would love it could map my whole room so that I could actually take that view that I can see out the window over there and put it in the background here, and it would identify where the bed is and all that stuff and make it creative. I think there is so much potential for AR to take kind of this sort of thing beyond the green screen. I'm kind of excited about it. What I do think is this is going to be how Snapchat survive if people continue to, it's not abandon it, grow out of it, or if it doesn't grow in user-wise, they still have all these augmented reality tools which they are able to sell on to other companies. Twitter tweeted a video this week sharing copywriting tips for sales posts or promotional posts on Twitter, and actually they shared some real good common sense advice. The first bit was, don't use all caps. In case you are one of those people that doesn't know, when you put capital letters on something, if it's all capitals, not just the beginning of the words, it represents aggression and shouting, and actually it's bound to get the backup of anyone that sees it, or people scroll straight by. So avoid using capital letters, just be a little bit more creative with your copy. The second thing that they shared was actually if you're writing a sales post and it's say a money off post or a deal or an offer, use percentage off. Don't use a price, this price to this price, or this many pounds or euros or dollars off. Actually use percentage off. They've actually noticed that in studies, people are more likely to go for an offer when it's a percentage rather than a monetary value. And the third tip is, Twitter is where hashtags started, but they're saying do not use hashtags, do not use hashtags, and there's a really good sound reason behind this. Do not use hashtags because hashtags are actually links. When you think about it, they go blue, you click them and it brings you through to your hashtag search on Twitter. So if you've got two hashtags and a link, you are missing the opportunity to get people to focus and click the link that you want them to. So when it's hashtags are great for other things, but when it's a promotional post, focus on just putting a link, no hashtags. And that means you'll get a better click-through rate. Was there anything else? Make sure your website cards are enabled. So, you know, if you put a link on Twitter, does it bring up a preview of your website underneath? If not, there's a few tools. If you're on WordPress, Yoast is a great tool to enable Twitter cards and get that up and running. But actually, it's quite a straightforward process. If you Google how to set up Twitter cards, there's a straightforward process that you can go through to get those working. Definitely get those, because that means when anyone clicks anywhere on that, it will bring them directly through to your website. Again, it'll increase your click-through rate. Great tips, probably stuff you already knew already, but it's always good to get a reminder. But what I really think is important about this news is that Twitter shared a video in a tweet that was 2 minutes and 22 seconds long. So like Facebook, Twitter want us to use video. They're showing us that video on Twitter can be longer as well. I think initially we would have always thought a video on Twitter being short. Who's going to sit and watch a video on Twitter? But this looks like people actually will. Now this is interesting because I break this digital coffee into little segments every week and put them out on Twitter and on LinkedIn, on my company page. And on Twitter they've been doing really well. They get lots of views, lots of interaction. I don't know how much of a view it gets. I'd like to see the statistics of that. Do people watch it all the way through? Or are the ones that are most popular just the ones that have better tweets in there? Either way, it's definitely worth, if you are creating that video for Facebook anyway, experimenting maybe with Twitter. Vimeo, have you heard of Vimeo? Vimeo is like, I would say, the business version of YouTube. It's essentially a paid tool. I pay to use it. I upload kind of online courses and stuff up onto my Vimeo account and things along those lines. It's not exactly a competitor to YouTube. It offers hosting so that you can host your videos there, and then you can customize the player for your video, which a lot of other companies do recently. I know Wave, which I recommend to people very often, it's a video tool, have launched a similar service recently. But what's interesting is this week Vimeo launched an app that helps you create videos for all platforms and all formats. called Vimeo Create, and this is the sort of video you can create. You recognize some of these because I put this together in the airport yesterday when I was preparing this show. You would choose your videos and photographs from your phone, your library on your phone, and it will automatically create a video just like that one for you, create using them. I was at first really excited about this, and I wondered, was this in response to Wave coming out and creating their own player and their own embeddable features to rival Vimeo? Until I tried to save this video and download it to my phone. And then it wanted me to pay $25 a month. So obviously this is a tool which Vimeo want to use to make money, not to attract more people into their service, which is interesting because you do find apps go one way or another. One way they want to make money, one way they're trying to attract you into their brand or build brand awareness. So for example, GoPro have an app that I love called Quick, Q-U-I-K, which does a very similar thing. You put in a load of photographs or videos and it will automatically create a cool video from them for you. I was surprised that they've gone this route, but actually if people enjoy using it, maybe they'll, but also $25 is a lot. If it was a couple of dollars or $3, I may have paid it. I don't see the benefit of using this tool over others enough to pay that amount of money yet. LinkedIn are launching something, or it looks like they will, because this comes from Jane Munchen Wong, and actually it's really relevant that it comes from Jane Munchen Wong. Jane Munchen Wong found this as something that LinkedIn are possibly going to launch using reverse engineering. And this would be so helpful for me because every week when I mention Jane on the show, I never know if I'm saying her name right. And I think it's so embarrassing, I should look it up, or if she ever saw this show, not that she's ever going to see it, but if she ever saw this show, would she be annoyed that I say her name wrong? Well, now LinkedIn are launching this tool where you will actually be able to coach people into the pronunciation of your name. You'll be able to record what it sounds like and put it on your LinkedIn profile. And not only would this be good for me talking about Jane, but it would also be good for business meetings when you're going to meet someone. If you're interviewing someone for your podcast, this has happened to me before, that I don't know how to pronounce their name and I always feel a little bit of an idiot when I have to ask them, and of course you have to ask them because you don't want to say their name wrong. I'm going to do a bit of emceeing while I'm at Social Media Marketing World, so I need to know the names of the people I'm going to introduce, and some of them are a little bit technical. I would love if I didn't have to go up to them on the day and ask them, hey, how do I say your name? But I do have to do that. So a tool like this on LinkedIn would be massively helpful, I think. Do animated GIFs belong on LinkedIn? And part of me goes, no, they do not belong on LinkedIn, or only, you know, in some circumstances. But it seems that LinkedIn actually think they do. Because someone spotted this week. When you type certain words like congratulations, it prompts you to add a GIF to your tweet. So I imagine this is when you're replying to someone. So he was replying with congrats, and you can see here it's giving the option to add a GIF. So then I thought, well, it's not going to be those really tacky GIFs that we know and love on Facebook and Twitter, but they have no place on LinkedIn. Well, it turns out it is those horrible, tacky, lovely that I love that you'll be able to add to a response as well. Why are LinkedIn doing this? Are they trying to make sure we have a more casual atmosphere on LinkedIn, which I like? But is it a gift zone? Or are they doing this so that they can get more quick interaction with posts, more comments? Because of course more comments means, I don't know, do people spend longer on the platform? I don't know. I don't know what their thinking is. All I know is, and I could be wrong, because I've often been wrong, to be honest, that this is wrong for LinkedIn. Coming soon, possibly, to Instagram stories, don't have it yet, is a pen. So when you go into the pen thing to draw on your picture or video, a pen with an arrow on the end of it. Now, I find this kind of exciting. I know that's kind of nerdy and weird, but the amount of arrows that I use on Instagram stories is huge. And, you know, drawing them is kind of complicated. I always have to delete and do them again because obviously I share a lot of tutorial stuff or I'm pointing out something. So I think a line with an arrow on the end would be cool. Will you go and check your Instagram stories for me and tell me if you have this? Because I'd love to know. Something interesting happened this week when I had a friendversary with somebody who has been my friend, as in we meet in person a lot and have photos taken together a lot on Facebook. Now you'll know that Facebook often tells you it's your friendversary with so-and-so, or it will share a video saying, here's your video for your friendversary with so-and-so. But this week, they did neither of those things. They invited me to take a quiz. I was tempted. I clicked the button. And what happens is it asked me lots of questions about my friendship with this person. It showed me some photographs and asked me which one got the most likes. I still don't know the answer to that. I got that wrong. It asked me when we became friends. I also got that wrong. It asked me a number of other really simple questions that it could garner from my Facebook profile. I scored a pathetic 22%. And the nice thing is, tells you what your friend scored. My other friend scored 40%, and that sparked us to have a conversation in Messenger and have a quick catch up, which we haven't done in a while. So I really like this. I like that Facebook have done it because it's made me reconnect with someone, but I also think this makes business sense. If you interactive content is huge, if you can find a way for people to interact and engage with you, that content becomes more relevant and more memorable than anything else that you will create. Think about it. Quiz for your friendversary or one of those crummy videos for your friendversary? I'm going to go quiz every time. And that is it from the Digital Coffee this week from LA. I don't know what's going to happen next week because my schedule is pretty full, but I am going to get some sort of show out to you next week. I may get to interview some people that I meet and get them to join in, but I will be somewhere, same bat time, same bat place next week. Thanks for joining me.